Welcome to Brutally Honest. I am Aaron True, known for my hijinks, getting beat up by Ronda Rousey for Doom. We've also got Jonathan King from the Clinch Report. He's the editor and also cage side reporter. And last but not least, our audio and visual engineer, cage side photographer, Adrian the Mad Hatter Gallegos. We have two incredible guests tonight. We have straight from the Congo, coming back to start his MMA career, Justin Wren. We also have the incredible King Mo, who will be in the 4-person tournament at Bellator coming up. But before we get into MMA, we're going to start off refreshing our taste buds, I guess you could say, our palate, and we're going to have Adrian do his beer of the week.
I'm getting it. Sorry, guys. The beer of the week is Pliny the Elder. It's one of the most sought-out beers in right now. It's one of the best IPAs on the market. Somebody was telling me that this beer alone in Europe goes for about $120, just because it's such a rare bottle.
That's a $120 bottle of beer? My gosh.
Well, locally it's only $8, but it's impossible to find. That's the problem. Is it always sells out.
Can you hold it up to the camera?
This is the same beer that I tried to make a clone of when I first started making beer. So. Aaron definitely does not like IPAs, so I don't know. Do you want to try it?
No, I do like IPA, I thought.
You do like IPA?
Yes.
Okay. So you're willing to try this one?
Yeah, I'll try that one. I'll take a little bit.
Okay. So this is out of Russian beer, out of Santa Clara, I believe, up north. This is a brewery that if you have to literally wait in line for like an hour to get a 6-pack. It's insane. I mean, it's like the trendiest beer right now. So.
All right, awesome. Well, Adrian pours that for us. This is a hilarious story. So Clinch Post over the weekend, he's at Venice Beach, and I thought he got set up for a robbery because all of a sudden a tourist falls off a Segway right in front of Clinch, and then some bum jacks his headphones, right? So isn't that clearly a setup? If someone falls right in front of you at the beach, and then all of a sudden you put down your stuff to help them, and your stuff goes missing.
Yeah, I think that's a setup. I mean, I'm surprised.
What a fool, right? So he posts on Facebook, posts a picture of himself all upset. He even buys new headphones. So today when I say I'm going to bring up the story, this is the best part ever. Clinch says, don't bring up the story. And why is that?
I found my headphones in my car.
I didn't know the whole part.
Amazing. Well, he just told me just now that part, and I said, too late. It's in the show notes.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's toast.
I fucked that one up.
There you go. So make sure you want to smell it. You can really smell the pine.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know if I do like IPAs or not, but it tastes good, I think.
It's a really clean IPA.
Nice.
So the reason why it's you can't really taste the yeast at all. There's no banana or any clove. It's all piney. It's very light. It's a very strong beer. I recommend with burgers or steak. It's
Dude,
awesome. Thanks a lot, Adrian, for the beer. What was it called one last time?
Pliny the Elder out of Russian River.
It actually
Awesome.
smells like weed.
Well,
I think you're smelling your upper lip.
let me tell you something. I don't know if you guys know this, but the hops, because it's predominantly hoppy, right? So hops are in the same family as marijuana. So that's a very, very
See, I'm an
smart,
educated.
Yeah, and we'll be getting to your medical marijuana strain the week towards the end of the show as well.
Smells good.
All right,
Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian. So it's been a slow news day. So someone sent me a link from Fightland on Vice. And it said, Master Cordero, amazing video of him showing off his Muay Thai skills. And it was a video I had made about 3 years ago. So that was pretty cool to see something I had made wind up on Fightland. And I don't think they have any clue. Cordero is beating up and actually dropping current UFC champion TJ Dillashaw. He's fighting Bob Alou. He's fighting current champion Fabricio Verdum, Matt Horowitz, Matt Dangerous Snell from the MTV show. There's a lot of big names in it, and it's pretty cool that they put that out there.
Let me ask you this, True. You do a lot of videos, and some of them you think are going to be huge, and some of them you can tell might be huge. Like that one, did you know that was coming? That was just going to end up being a big video?
The reason I thought, I had no idea it would randomly appear now. But
Right.
I knew when I first made it would be big for the following reason. Anderson Silva had just landed a killer knockout with a knee, I think over Stephan Bonner or Chael Sonnen. He had won 2 fights in a row by incredible knees. And everyone's giving credit to someone for it. Oh, and if there was a hum just before, we had the AC on and we didn't even realize, but it sounded fine to me. But anyways, Anderson had won 2 huge fights by knee, and I was like, I saw those knees before. Those are the knees that Coach Master Cordero had taught him at Shoot-A-Box and teaches all the guys at Kings MMA now. I recognize those knees. So I found all this old footage of Cordero sparring showing that same exact move. And then I put it up saying, this is the King's MMA death touch. It's not Steven Seagal, because I think Steven Seagal was taking credit for it. So I had a feeling it could blow up, but I mean, coming back 3 years later, I had no clue at all. All right, well, Adrian, are we able to take some calls now?
Yeah.
Can I have you get a mod on the phone?
Sure. Let me come.
Okay, thanks. So we had a big fight this weekend between Glover Teixeira and against Ovin St. Peru, right? Against OSP. OSP looked incredible early on. He was dominant athletically. He looked like he was going to win it. He had Glover hurt bad a few times. But Glover was able to come back. One of the most incredible comeback wins I've seen in a while. He really proved why he is top 4, because he is able to overcome and persevere and able to win by adapting using jiu-jitsu. He took down a wrestler and was able to submit him. What did you think of the fight, Clinch, before we go into Benny against Michael Johnson?
Well, it was another win for jiu-jitsu, obviously. Glover Teixeira proved that he was... To me, that fight basically reinforced some of the holes that I think Glover has in his stand-up game. I think he's more of a brawler in the Chuck Liddell style. I think you can beat him with jabs. I think you can peck him apart with jabs. So even though he beat OSP, who's a big, strong dude, he beat him in an area where he should beat him, on the ground. OSP is not good at being on his back. And once Glover put him there, it was just a matter of seconds. But I don't really know if it solidifies Glover as a contender. I mean, it definitely keeps his name at the poker table, but I don't know if he did anything to move up in the ranks, in my opinion.
I thought it was a hell of a fight. Obviously, there's no way he's moving up from number 4 because the people ahead of him are just incredible. But we have a caller coming on in a second here. There was a really controversial fight this weekend. It was Beniel DeRouche against Michael Johnson in the co-main event. Michael Johnson out of the Black Zillions. Benny DeRouche out of Kings MMA, who has champions Fabricio Verdum and Rafael Dos Anjos, a big stable. So we're going to take on Ahmad, who he was not happy with the decision. Benny, he won via split decision, but it was very controversial. Ahmad, are you there?
Ahmad, hello.
Hello.
Ahmad, thanks a lot for calling in. Ahmad, so what did you think? Were you happy with the decision? It sounded like that you're a huge fan of Beniel DeRouche and you were thrilled with the outcome.
Me thrilled Beniel? No, I actually no. I knew who Beniel was when he was, an up-and-comer, but in the fight, I actually fully expected Michael Johnson to win the fight. I went in thinking, I was like, well, this is a very, very, very steep step that Dariush is taking in this fight. That was the mindset that I was going in. And then during the first round, that's what it was looking like. I mean, wow. I was like, man, he's kind of, he's there. I can see that he's competing. But then again, and at first I think, Michael, he's just on another. He's just a notch above him right now. And I'm seeing, and for the first thing I did notice, I'm seeing the leg kicks early. The first thing I did notice was the leg kicks from Beniel. I'm like, well, damn. I'm like, if he keeps these leg kicks going, I think, man, he can probably change the fight like that. That's the first thing I know. But then again, I'm seeing Michael. He was being aggressive, cutting those angles. He was landing that 1-2 punch. And by the way, if you ever look at Michael's 1-2, it's kind of awkward the way he throws it. But then again, it's effective for him. But for some reason, it's just effective. And he just, that 1-2, it was just money for him that entire fight.
What about the takedown defense? What did you think about this takedown defense?
Just takedown defense. People are saying that it was great, but the thing about it is, Michael was minding his distance the entire time of that fight. You notice that he was he kept at a certain range where he knew,
exactly. And the shots weren't really set up either. He wasn't really setting them up. He was just diving in, and the distance was not timed very well. Well, we're going to get going because we have King Mo coming up, but I just want to ask you, how did you score the fight?
29-28, Johnson.
So you don't agree with the decision?
No, I don't. I do not agree with the decision. I mean, sometimes they say, "Oh, you can look." If you look, I'm looking at this fight. I'm clearly seeing that Johnson was leading the entire fight, outscoring him. the takedown defense, the aggression, the cage control, better striking. I mean, my God, he was just outworking Beniel. And then in the third round, I did notice that he slowed down. And then in the third round, the one thing I did like from Beniel is that he adjusted. He adjusted in that round, and then all of a sudden you see, damn, he's starting to get off on with the jab, that sharp jab. He was popping Michael in the face. You can just see that his head was snapping back.
Yeah.
And
all right, well,
he just adjusted more.
Yeah, that was the question I had. Why did it take Beneil Dariush 2 rounds to learn how to get that jab in his face? He was fighting like Frankenstein.
I thought he was winning the first round, the first 2.5, 3 minutes until he got dropped. He was doing well. It's just once he got dropped, it took him a while to wake back up. He got rocked hard.
This is the way I saw that fight breaking down.
And Ahmad, thanks a lot for calling in. I'm gonna send you a T-shirt. What size do you wear?
A large.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Ahmad. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, see, I had Dariush losing the fight, obviously, on my scorecards. But to me, the first 2 rounds, Johnson did a great job cutting angles and landing the 2 off the jab, setting up the 2 off the jab, rocked Dariush a couple times. But the thing that really bothered me about the decision is, and we've seen this a couple times against the Black Zillions, they win the first 2 rounds, they take their foot off the gas pedal, and inevitably 2 judges see it the other way. So I think they actually get punished for thinking that they're ahead and taking an early lead and fighting safe.
And trying to coast,
Absolutely.
in a sense. All right, well, we were talking just off air right before we got on. There's a huge 4-man tournament going on. A huge 4-man tournament. And King Mo is going to be part of that. So we have King Mo. We're about to bring him on as a guest. We're going to talk to him about the tournament. We're going to talk to him about fighting for Bellator. We're going to talk to him just about how he's become such a marketable person and how he's able to become a money weight. You know, he doesn't care what weight class he fights on. So we are honored. We are absolutely thrilled to welcome to the show King Mo the Walk. Mo, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good, man. Out here, chilling in Florida. It's getting kind of humid out here, but I'm training hard, getting ready for my fights coming up.
Yeah, so do you know who you're going to fight the first round, or is it just, when do they tell you who you're going to compete against?
I'm not sure yet. I'm going to know something soon. They're going to announce something pretty soon. I'm just waiting. I'm saying for whoever and whenever. I'll tell them, given that I think I haven't figured out now because I found fight. I feel like Lenny Michelle and Phil Davis are kind of the same. They're wrestlers first. They try to wrestle and grapple, so I just got to check for two types of fights.
Do you want payback against Emmanuel Newton?
Yeah, definitely. The crazy thing is the first one they caught me. The second time I felt like I won. It wasn't a previous fight, but I wasn't the healthiest at that time in my career. But I was starting to come back. I felt like I did enough damage and could enough control to actually get the victory. But I guess the judges saw otherwise, and it is what it is. So now it's time for me to shake back, and I'm feeling good.
Let me ask you.
Feeling healthy finally. So it's good.
Let me ask you a question. People don't realize how monstrous Czech Kongo is until you stand next to him in person. You've always said, what weight class you fight at? Money weight. You'll just take whatever fight you can get. Czech Kongo is a freaking monster. How big was he? And I thought you won the fight 100%. People were saying they're, giving crap about it, but I thought it was a good fight on your part and a smart fight. Talk to me about that fight real quick.
Well, the thing is, I took the one to fight James Thompson, and they called and said, Mo, James Thompson is sick, so we're going to fight your opponent as a man with weight class. I said, no. 10 minutes later, they said, yeah, we fight the opponent. I was like, who? Czech Kongo. I was like, that's cool. Czech Kongo ain't that big, because I never really stood by him like that. I never, really interacted with him too much. When I saw him, it'd be like me standing up and him sitting down. Stuff like that. So we do the face-off at the fight, at his press conference. And I'm like, yeah, he's kind of tall. They look that big because all his clothes were tight on him. At the weigh-ins, I stood in the scale with my clothes on and my shirt off, my shoes, and I weighed 217. That's probably about 212, 213. And he stood on a scale about 239 or something like that. And I went to face-off with him. I'm like, man, this guy's big. I look at his arms. I'm like, oh, hell no. What did I do? And then we got in the cage. I was like, this dude is even bigger. I was like, did he cut weight to weigh in 239? Because he looked bigger at the fight. And on fight time, they did the weigh-ins. He was big.
Now, hey Mo, you've been in there with some heavy bangers, and you've taken your fair share of shots. You've been in there with Rampage, Manuel. Do you notice a difference getting hit from a guy like Rampage who hits really hard at the 205-pound division, compared to stepping up fighting a guy like Kongo, who hits pretty hard but at a different division? Do you notice a power differential in feeling the strike?
No, I just felt the force because Chet Kongo, I was just doing enough to where he can land shots on me. So I was like keeping him guessing. Like on the stand-up portion, I feel like I outlanded him because like he was working my takedowns and I just kept him guessing. But Rampage, he hits hard, but not like as hard as you think he does. There's guys that I train with, and spar with, they hit much harder. Like Glover Teixeira, Rashad Evans hits real hard. Alan Green, I know some pro boxers I train with, Andrew Khabib, they hit extremely hard. Nelson Menor, he's small, but he hits real hard. So like, I felt it all, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt like my thing with Kongo was I'm not trying to be like Pat Barry. Pat Barry went out there, had him beat, and Kongo has that equalizer and that neutralizer instead of that right hand. And I was like, I'm not going to end up stretched.
Right on. Now, King, let me ask you this. I got a personal favor to ask you. You're a guy that's been in the game for a long time. You always got great quips, and you're no stranger to confront the media. So this is what I want to ask you. Can we check in from you every once in a while now and then on the Brutally Honest MMA Report and get what I'd like to call the dick riding report, so we can find out who's dick riding in MMA, who needs to go and who needs to learn a lesson, because you call it the way it is, and I'd really like to have you on again so we can find out who's riding dicks right now.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? The thing is, I just got to do a better job of keeping my ear to the street, because there's a lot of the dick ridery, you know what I'm saying? and so it's the point where I'm just like, I try to, I just kind of just stay away from it, and I just focus on the more down to earth things.
Hey, King Mo, you have incredible nutrition in your life. Are you into nutrition as more than just an athlete? Do you ever study it? And what kind of stuff do you do to maintain your nutrition and your health?
Well, I studied in college, but when I switched schools, I couldn't follow up on it. So I read up on it. I talk to a lot of nutritionists. I pick brains. With me, I'm lucky because I'm a small 205, so with me, I have to eat to keep my weight up. If I stop training, my basal metabolic rate is pretty high, so I'd shrink. You know what I'm saying? And my BMI, my body mass index is pretty solid. I have a low fat percentage, so I have to do my best to keep my weight up.
All right, right on. Well, Mo, let me ask you. You're on a 3-fight win streak, and your only 2 losses in the last couple of years were actually by decision. So you haven't been finished in a couple of years now. You're on a really big hot streak. What can we expect to see from you in the opening round? Are you going to try to put on a flashy, exciting fight? Or are you going to just try to play it safe to advance? Or are you just going to go do what you do and let instinct happen?
I told people this. I'm going to go out there. If you look up Iran Barkley and Ann Wolfe, I'm going to go out there. They're boxers, they're greats. And I'm going to go out there and fight like them. I'm not going to fight to win rounds. I'm going to fight to win the fight. Iran Barkley, when he fought, he didn't fight to win rounds. He fought to stop you. Ann Wolfe fought to kill you. So my thing is, man, I'm gonna go out there and fight. Cause man, I'm not trying to win a round. I'm trying to get stoppages, man. I gotta get stoppages to get back on track.
Yeah, it seems like whatever in front of you that you hit, whatever you hit that's in front of you, it definitely goes down and gets knocked out. Mo, let me ask you, now that you're in Bellator, not under Zuffa, you've been able to really show your personality with the walkouts, doing stuff in wrestling, the lead-up shows they do, the reality-based style shows they do before your fights. It's been really cool to get to know your personality outside of the cage. How important is sponsorship in terms of pay? Obviously, I don't want any numbers or your personal business, but how important is sponsorship money to your career? And are you obviously or not obviously making more money now in Bellator than you would under Zuffa because of that? Because you're such a popular guy. For you to get $5 or $10 from Reebok, when a guy like you, who's one of the most well-known personalities in MMA, plus a great prize fighter, what do you think about that?
Well, me personally, I don't really care. That's what people in the UFC's probably deal with. I don't give a fuck what they're going to do. That's on them. With me, I see sponsorships that are die because, truth be told, a lot of sponsors, I like sponsors, but a lot of them weren't making no money. I can tell you, I can answer like this. I can tell you this. Common Depot sponsors people, but who uses Commerce Days? You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I'm not trying to be, who goes to CommonDepot.com and like, you know what? I'm going to buy me a bunch of condoms. Nobody. What's up to see somebody with like a bunch of MMA shirts? Unless it's an MMA event. You rarely see somebody wearing these drone shirt or something like that, or like I don't know the clothing companies are out there, but you rarely walk around seeing people wearing Jocko, people wearing Jocko and these drone shirts out and about in public. It's just only MMA events. So I feel like a lot of these companies, sort of realize that, hey, I can't be cool no more to sponsor prize the UFC. So since the UFC is doing their own thing, we're just gonna close shop.
Let me ask you this, Mo. You've been in Bellator for a while. You've been under both regimes. You had some public issues under Bjorn Rebney. Now Scott Coker's taken over. Things have changed a little bit in Bellator. We're seeing new names coming in. Guys like Josh Koscheck signed. Josh Thompson, I think, signed yesterday, right? So you're seeing some of your old buddies from Strikeforce starting to make their way back over. Maybe you can touch on your thoughts on what Scott Coker has brought to the organization that you're fighting for, and since he's been there, maybe has my question to you is has it gotten better for you?
Well, I feel like it's gotten better for everybody. But here's the thing about Coker. Coker realizes people get mad when I say MMA is not a sport. It's a contest. It's entertainment. So say the Coker goes up there and puts out fights that people are interested in seeing. The sport thing, if it was a sport, then I can go out there and be 40-0 with 40 decisions, and guess what? I'd have fans for a winner. It's not that way. So what Coker does is Coker's like, all right, we're in the ratings game, so you know what? We're going to try to get ratings. So what's big right now? Kimbo with Sherman. Okay, Mo that. And guess what? It's good ratings. Keto fights is good ratings. They have they put out matchups that bring about good ratings, and they try to build stars. That's what they Coker was great at. Look at the other guys in the UFC now: Cormier, Rockhold, and so on. Jacare. They're all Strikeforce guys, and Coker helped build them. He's not trying to build himself. He helped build fighters. Ronda Rousey came from Strikeforce. Come on.
Now let me ask you 3 quick predictions I want to get from you. First of all, Liam McGeary versus Tito Ortiz. Who do you have in that fight?
I got Liam.
Ooh, the young gun.
Ooh.
Okay. And my second question is, Rousey Cyborg, in your professional opinion, do you think we'll ever see that fight?
No, because the thing is, like, people are trying to talk bad about Cyborg and she can make weight now. Well, no, she can make weight. You can look at somebody and they might look small, but you can check their body mass index. You gotta see their bone density. You gotta see their muscle mass. You gotta see their fat percentage. And I guarantee you, look at Cyborg. When I see her, she's lean. 6-pack all the time. She probably has about 8% body fat, if not lower. So the chance of her making 135, which is about 170, 160, is slim to none, in my opinion. I want to get paid, but I just don't see it.
If they did fight, who do you have winning that?
Depends on the weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on the weight class. 135 blonde, because I feel like Cyborg would be a zombie. I feel like at 145, Cyborg would be fresh and she's bigger. You know what I'm saying? She'd be bigger and just more explosive.
All right, Mo, thank you so much for joining us. Before we let you go, can you just tell us who have you been working with, where have you been training, and who are the people that are helping you stay so successful and getting you ready to hopefully win the Bellator tournament?
Man, I'm here at Coconut Creek in American Top Team. I got my boy, Coach Anthony. He's out of New Jersey. He's one of boxing coaches. I got Jeff Mayweather, Guy Davis. I got a great staff of people at the gym. Clever to share. I help them and he helps me. Just everybody, man. Coach Kenny Barzini, Brian Harris. We got a good thing at American Top Team, man. If you're trying to get better, you need to come check us out.
Well, King Mo, thank you so much for calling in. I'm really fortunate to be able to consider you a friend, and I've known you now for, ever since Affliction. We met you when I think you were training with, Ryan Parsons and Babalu and those guys, and I just really appreciate being able to get to know you over the years, and we wish you all the best.
Yeah, man. Hit me up anytime, man. I'm here.
All right, thanks a lot, Mo. Have a great night.
All right, you too.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
All right.
Dude. That guy's awesome.
Let's give her a signature clap after that.
Yeah.
King Mo.
King Mo's awesome.
And we have 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, we're jumping right in to Justin and Wren.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
we've got that coming up. We'll give him a call in just a minute or two. Wait just a minute so we can kind of digest that. Oh, man, King Mo, always so much entertaining. We didn't even really talk all that much about his MMA career. He's such a knowledgeable guy, and there's so many things we could have even gone into. He's I think he 5 times or 6 times in a row, he was United States National Wrestling Champion.
Yeah, he also
Let alone MMA, let alone professional wrestling, the entertaining wrestling.
He also won as like a senior championship like 5 years in a row after graduating college. He was in that professional all-star league, professional wrestling that was actually real
I remember
wrestling.
I remember that where he double-legged the guy, drove him right off the mat. That was awesome.
he was the light heavyweight champion. Or was
I don't
it
know. I
heavyweight?
mean,
he
who
was
knows?
one of them. But yeah, he had a title in that organization
and
too.
that was pretty interesting to hear what he had to say about the Ronda fight and the Cyborg fight. You know, King Mo, everyone thinks he's just a fighter. He's a very knowledgeable guy in nutrition, and he was, instead of just throwing out a guess, he said, I would need to know the body mass index. I need to know more about nutrition. Really interesting stuff. Also, King Mo, like we said, riding a 3-fight win streak, he has the potential to face his nemesis, Emmanuel Newton, who knocked him out and then beat him in a decision, or to possibly face Tito Ortiz. If Tito Ortiz wins the title and doesn't retire, he's going to fight the winner of the tournament. Would you like to finally see King Mo against Ortiz after all the shit talking they've been doing?
Well, according to King Mo, we're not going to see Tito Ortiz versus King Mo.
Yeah, he picked Liam,
We're going
right?
to see Liam McGeary.
Liam is 10-0. He's no joke.
Oh, he's no joke. And he's vicious off his back.
Tito's not some bum off the local
No,
circuit.
he's not.
He's world class, and on any night he can beat anyone.
The only thing that I have playing into McGeary's game is a lot of guys like Vassal, a couple other guys in the light heavyweight division. I'm not really sure how much they threaten off their back. They're more defensive guys on their back. Liam can throw a triangle up. He can take your arm. He's dangerous off his back.
Tito
Very
has
dangerous.
really good submission defense, though. He trains with Kleber Luciano, Kleber Jiu-Jitsu. He's obviously an incredible wrestler. When's the last time Tito was submitted, if ever, in the UFC?
He's been choked a couple times, right?
I don't think all his last losses in the UFC were
Knockout.
Tito's by Chuck Liddell, and then his previous that was the Shamrock fights, right? The series. So it's been a while.
How did he lose? Didn't he lose to a choke to Rashad?
I know he beat Ryan Bader as well.
Rashad kneed him in the chest and TKO'd him, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I have it right here.
Oh no, he had Rashad in a choke. He almost finished Rashad. That's what it was.
He beat Ryan Bader with a choke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The guillotine, yeah.
Yeah. His only losses have been Chuck Liddell.
He hasn't lost. This is crazy. He's only lost twice by submission in his entire career. Guy Metzger legitimately did choke him where he tapped, but that was a bullshit off the restart. You guys remember that when he busted his head open?
Yeah.
So he technically was submitted off a bullshit restart. He tapped to punches against Frank Shamrock at UFC 22. He has not been submitted since UFC 22 in 1999.
Wow.
17 years.
Wow.
Okay, guys, we're going to call in Justin Wren right now. This is incredible. Back-to-back of Bellator stars. Justin Wren, he literally decided to move to the Congo in Africa, join a Pygmy tribe, and he is doing some of the most incredible work now, charitable work, helping these people with the water, helping the village to build wells. He hasn't fought in several years. He's now coming back out of retirement to make money to build more clean water wells and save these people's lives. How incredible is that?
Yeah, dude's a different kind of human being. You know what I mean? It all started from what I've read about him. It all started as a personal journey for himself, recovering from injury, kind of soul searching, trying to find his way. And it reminded me of something that you told me a long time ago. If you want to build your self-esteem, you do esteemable things.
I want to ask him about that, actually. That's a great thing. Try to remind me about that.
And I think he's done that. And I think that's how he found his place in the world. And I think I'd like to ask him if his newfound, if that's what brought him back to fighting.
Well, you're going to get a chance right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are absolutely honored to bring on someone who's known as a 10-2 MMA fighter, but maybe also more well known for their charitable efforts in the Congo. Ladies and gentlemen, we are welcoming to the show Justin Wren. Justin, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much. It's a humbling introduction. Thank you.
Yeah, let's get into that stuff before we talk about your fight, actually. My co-host just mentioned, I have a saying, if you want to build esteem, you do esteemable acts. How did you wind up in the Congo and helping those people? And tell us a little bit about what you're doing over there.
It's kind of crazy. I'll give you the real short and condensed version. I was, after my time on The Ultimate Fighter and little stint in UFC, I was a drug addict and depressed and drinking all the time. And, man, missed my best friend's wedding, not just being there, but being his best man. And it's because I was on a drug binge. So anyways, got my life right, my personal life. I found my personal faith, and then after that, I was just. It can sound crazy to a lot of people, but I was basically thinking and praying, what am I going to do with my life? And I saw myself a vision where I was in the forest. I didn't know it was the Congo. I didn't know it was the Pygmies, but I saw myself walking through the forest, hearing this drumming and this beautiful singing. But then when I got in there, I saw these hurting people. Anyways, to make that story a little shorter, 3.5 weeks later, it came true. It blew me away. It was nuts. I was in the middle of the forest in the Congo with some Mabuti Pygmies, and I had to walk off because I was crying to myself, like, oh my gosh, like this is real, and these are people that I can really help. And I fell in love with them, their culture, their way of life, but I also was heartbroken seeing how they were living. I even had a 1.5-year-old. His name's Andy Bo. He passed away on my second trip, and I went to pick up the back of his head, kind of cut the back of his head, and that's when blood started trickling out of his ears, and he had passed away just because of dirty water. So that sent me on a kind of a path and a quest or a journey to figure out, man, they live in the rainforest. There's got to be a lot of water under the ground. How do we get it? And so, yeah, that's what we do now. We drill for water. But first we had to get them land, because you can't just give them water if they don't have any land of their own. So we got 2,478 for them. We've done 26 water wells. We're drilling 27 and 28 right now. I have 17 full-time staff in Congo. We partner with a local university there, and we hired people that graduated from their School of Community Development. So it was just perfect for us to hire people that's their passion. That's their purpose in life. That's what they want to do.
That's
so
awesome.
it also.
So
yeah.
you got a bunch of the indigenous locals that are actually doing it for you. Instead of sending people over there, you're actually creating sort of income for people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my heart. That's my model. It doesn't just need to be a bunch of Mzungus or Westerners. Mzungu and Swahili and stuff means white man. So it doesn't need to be outsiders that come in and help these poor, helpless people. Like, if you teach them how to help, they can help themselves. If you give them the tools, maybe they don't know what to do with those tools, but you teach them what to do with it, and then they do. They're not stupid. They're not ignorant. They're amazing, awesome, wonderful people. And if we can empower them through giving them an opportunity, instead of treating them like charity cases where they can only put their hands out, like instead of plopping $1 in their hand or some food that will last them for a snack, let's plop up a tool in their hand and give them a job. And I think that's the way to change it, and that's why people in the Congo, the locals, have really gotten behind this. Even the government and the local universities and people are just trying to bust our door downs with jobs. We just don't have enough a foundation yet to hire a lot. But we have 2 well drilling teams. We want to get it up to 10. If we could ever get it up to 10, man, we could start cranking out 100 water wells a year, maybe even 200 at some point. But yeah, we want to go big with this.
Justin, you've now how has the transition been going from the jungle back into the United States to start training again? It's not like you weren't a successful fighter. You were 10-2, had a 3-fight win streak. You were a national champion in the prep division for wrestling. Yeah. You were coached under gold medalist Kenny Monday. You have an incredible wrestling pedigree and a fight history. So what have you been able to do to get back in shape, and where have you been training, and how has the transition been to coming back to civilian life, so to speak?
Yeah, I would say it's been great, and it's been tough. The 5-year layoff literally meant I did not train MMA for 5 full years. I didn't wrestle, I didn't do jiu-jitsu, I didn't spar, and I was hiking through the jungle and I was drilling wells, and that was tough. But yeah, so it's been tough. I got a lot of bumps and bruises, but I also feel like I'm getting in shape. I'm up here in Colorado now, really trying to get my lungs opened up. I've gone up to 12,000 feet a couple times and hit nits and went on runs up some of the big inclines. But I'm training full time with Team Takedown, and that's what's awesome.
Oh wow!
Kenny Yeah, Kenny Monday and Kendall Cross were my high school coaches. Both of them were Olympic gold medalists. And then I won high school nationals and also Greco nationals in high school, and I went straight to the Olympic Training Center out of high school.
Is it like
so
riding?
this
Is it
gonna be
like
the
riding a
first
bike?
time.
Is it like riding a bike? Sorry to
No.
cut you off. Like where if you can shoot a
Well,
double
maybe.
at any time, like if someone hits you, your just instinct's gonna take over, and you're gonna just shoot a double leg from hell.
Yeah, I think it came back a little slower than I was hoping, especially the cardio. But the technique, it was more of a timing issue than I know what to do. And now it's I've lost some of the small things, but I'm trying to build it all back up, and hopefully you guys will see that on August 28th, live on Spike. I think it's going to be a great fight.
Does your new family, the Pygmy people, do they know that you're doing a fight, and do they understand what's happening and why you're doing it?
Yes and no. Select few, some of the chiefs in the villages, and kind of like his name's Jailawa and Chabasiku and Bawanja, some of my real close friends. They get my past, but I haven't shared with them that I'm going back, because I think it could almost they'd be like, what? They don't have TV, they don't have cell phones, they don't have radio. I mean, they just don't have professional sports, to kind of have a reference and frame of mind. But what I told them was I'd come back and I'd fight for them. I'd fight for people in my country to know about them, because that was my first promise I made them. A chief, after Andy Bo died, he said, no one knows about our suffering. No one knows what's happening to us because we don't have a voice. Can you help us have a voice? Do you have anyone that would listen to you? And I'm like, man, I think I have a platform of some sort that I could use for that. And so, yeah, that's the main reason and purpose I'm coming back. But I'm also not overlooking it. I'm training my butt off, and I'm taking it serious. If I could take this as far as I can, if I could wear that Bellator strap and get some real respect and be the world champion for that promotion, then I think there'd be a bigger platform to do more good. And so that's kind of my heart in it. And so after my fights, I'll go back to Congo. I'll go 2 or 3 times a year for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. But then I come right back and I go right back into training.
Justin, you're one of my favorite people in the fight game, to be honest. Your stories really touched my heart.
You.
Mentally, coming into this, I know that you've always been a competitor. You've been a competitive wrestler since you were probably a seaman, for crying out loud. So you probably wrestled your way into the womb.
Yeah.
But how do you throw the switch? I mean, you've been through so much emotionally, going through the rehabilitation, the injury that wasn't, I wouldn't call it an injury. I'd call it a freaking devastating, I don't even know what you would call it. That arm injury you had was horrific.
Yeah.
Going through the drug addiction, coming out the other side of that, and then going through everything that you've been through in the Congo. How do you throw the switch, man? How do you get back into punching somebody's face and being emotionally okay with him punching yours?
Yeah, I'd say that's a great question, and I'd say there's a lot of different pieces of that puzzle. But for me, at the end of the day, it comes down to, man, I'm not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for my family, and the daily fight that they have, fight against waterborne disease, fight for hunger, fight against diseases and against their slave masters and against different oppression of all sorts, man. They're in a much bigger fight than I am. The 17 well drillers we got, they're in a much bigger fight than I am. Getting into a cage, to me, is so easy compared to that. My year in Congo, I've been going for 5 years, but the time I was there for a full year without coming back and going through malaria and going through all this other crazy stuff, like, I would say fighting is a pleasure, it's an honor, it's an opportunity, and it's my passion. So if I can combine that passion to benefit my bigger passion, then it's a win-win for me. It's a win-win for my Pygmy family, and I hope it's a win-win for the people that tune in for the fight to know that hey, I'm really trying not to fight for myself, but to fight for something greater. So for me, that's how I switch turn it on and say, when I get in there, like, yeah, there's a dude sitting across from me, but I don't care who it is, what one man it is, like, the things I've seen, the stuff I've been through the things my family's going through on a daily basis, like it's much tougher than any one dude. So yeah, I mean, I know there's probably better fighters, better athletes, more strong, better cardio, but I believe that it's going to be hard to find a fighter that has a bigger heart or a reason to win.
Justin, I know that you are taking time out of your schedule, that you're in the middle of literally moving, you're in the middle of training camp, so I just want to ask you a few more things.
Yeah, no worries, man. I got time for you guys.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Well, let me ask you, what, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, what is the worst thing you've seen in the Congo, and what is the best, most touching thing you've seen in the Congo?
Man, the worst thing, I don't know if I could. I'll just list a couple. I mean, I've held 2 dead children and buried them and had blisters on my hands, and that was just because of dirty water. I've seen slavery with my own eyes of thousands of people. Most people don't know, but today there's more slaves on Earth than ever in human history. There's an estimated 27 million, and I've just seen a couple thousand. I've taken women to the hospital after rebel groups tied them to a tree and gang raped them. I mean, like, there's been some just terrible, terrible things. There's been personal life stuff that's happened there. I won't get into that, but then get into the good stuff. The reason it's all worth it is man, seeing people get land of their own and having a chief and grandfather come to me with tears in his eyes saying, my grandchildren are going to be able to say, this was my grandfather's land. And he said, I remember that, my grandfather took me hunting on this land, but we were chased off of it by the Makapala, the non-Pygmies. And this is where I grew up, and now it's ours. Or we're getting clean water for the first time. That was nuts, having the government, not just soldiers, but government officials and stuff came in like a huge posse that I thought they were crashing our party. And we were celebrating so much we literally didn't sleep the night before. And we were celebrating, and all of a sudden, like a government, I don't know, like a posse of 30 people came in, and I was worried, but they came and put their stamp on it and said, we love what the Shalom drillers, the drillers for peace, are doing. We love what Fight for the Forgotten is doing. This is the first ever clean water source among the Mabuti Pygmies, and so for them to get their first ever water well, like, it was so huge, and them being able to say, like, we're equal now, we feel equal now, we're getting more rights and equality and respect and stuff like that. And then now we're doing a farming project. We're helping 300 people, get food from their own land and farming it. But we need to get it up to around we're supporting anywhere from 1,200 to 1,400 people that are living on that land. So there's been a lot of terrible stuff, but then there's a lot of great stuff that makes it so worth it. And my first 2 trips, I didn't know. I was like, man, is this worth it? Like, this is brutal. I don't know that I can handle it. And nobody would blame me if I say, man, that's too tough for me to handle, or at least for me, it was wrecking me. So, but now to see a big shift happen, it's so big. It's so huge for me personally in my life, my heart, my wife. Like, we just love doing this. So it's they're family, and when I say that, like I literally mean it. Like, they're closer to me than most of my blood family, and I'm just not because my blood family's bad, but just because our hearts are in sync with one another. So, anyways, I'll stop rambling. But
well, that's great. Okay, so last couple of questions here. We know you chose Bellator as the organization you wanted to come back to, but you had great things to say about several other organizations as well. Is there anyone you want to mention that may have helped you in your cause to possibly build wells or to do anything that you want to mention?
Yeah, well, Joe Rogan, dude, he's been such a huge support for Fight for the Forgotten, but even from the very beginning stages of where it was just basically a dream, and I'm like, hey, I'm taking off, I'm going to the Congo. Him personally, he's supported 2 different water wells in Congo. Also, Nate Marquardt, Nate the Great, dude, he's a great dude. I don't know that he would want a pat on the back or even credit, or maybe not even want me saying this, but after one of his performance of the night bonuses, he he donated enough for 2 water wells as well.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How
yeah,
much does
so
it cost
that's-
for one
that's
water
been
well?
great.
Estimate, just.
It's 2,500 is on the low end, 3,500 is on the high end, and 3,000 is right in the middle. I would say we normally range between 2,500 to 3,000, but it just depends on how deep we're going, how far out in the jungle we're going, how many days. Sometimes it takes. We average 10 to 16 days per water well, but then one time it took us 27 or 28 days for one water well.
Wow.
So that increases the labor cost and stuff. So, anyways, I would say a good estimate 2,500 to 3,000.
Justin, before we let you go, let me ask you, where can we buy your book
Yeah.
if we want to know more about this? And also, we want
Yeah.
to make a donation from the Brutally Honest show. So where can we send
Oh,
in
wow.
donations? Don't get too excited, but we still want to at least do something.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Dude, that's awesome. So humbling. The first question was how can you donate? Or
Where can I find your book?
Yeah.
And then how
Right.
can we donate to the cause?
Yeah, so the book is called Fight for the Forgotten. That's my nonprofit, and some exciting news is we're coming underneath. We're joining forces with a great organization that last year they did 876 water wells. So we're going to become an official initiative of theirs. That's water4.org, the number 4. So water4.org. I'm not sure there's a donation link yet for Fight for the Forgotten, but it should be up in the next few days. You can go to fightfortheforgotten.com. The website's being revamped, and there's a donate on the top right button. That goes straight into our nonprofit account. And the book is on Amazon right now. It's on pre-sale, and for a short time, I think it's like half price before it comes out. So then it will shoot back up to like 24 or something like that. But right now, I think it's like 12. And it's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. And yeah, that's called Fight for the Forgotten. So whenever I first met them, they said everyone calls us the Forest People, but we call ourselves the Forgotten People. So that's where that name came from, mixing the fighter and them together.
All right. Well, thank you, Justin, so much for joining us and
Thank
taking
you.
time out of your schedule. And it's an absolute honor to get to speak to you after following your story, following your career on both a personal and professional level. We just really want to thank you again for taking the time, and we'll really be rooting for you. And we're going to we'll get a hold of you and make a donation. Thank you again so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Hey, bless you guys. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you,
Take
man.
care, Justin. All right, guys. Let's give our round of applause for Justin Wren.
Dude,
That was awesome. I after I asked him the question, what was the worst thing you have seen, and he started describing it, I almost was thinking in my head, I wish I didn't ask, in a sense. I mean, that's the stuff he's seen. We can't even imagine. We can't even begin to imagine it. What did you think, Adrian?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty shocking. I'm really taken back a little bit. You know, I'm surprised that people go to Africa for different reasons and whatnot for tourism, and for him to go out there and do this. I mean, listening to some of his other interviews, he's talking about how long it takes to get to where he needs to get to, and I mean that's a huge risk. There's you can't guarantee food. They can't guarantee water. I mean, even drinking water is hard for him to get out there.
Even his own safety.
Right, his own
How does
safety.
he know that they won't think he's some kind of white god, some kind of random thing, and kidnap him?
Ikwansu Ocha.
No, all joking aside, these people have never seen a
Yeah,
white
absolutely.
person with long hair, albino skin.
Or you can be kidnapped for ransom, or there's a
Exactly.
lot
They
of
don't know. They might think he's a billionaire just
Right.
because he has sandals and clothes.
Right.
The two things that I get out of talking to this guy is one, the first thing, and they both involve me not understanding either an aspect of him. The first one is I cannot even attempt to empathize with the suffering that he's seen because I have no clue. You know what I mean? Like any attempt to do so would fail miserably. So I can't even do it. I can't even fathom the atrocities that he's seen. And the second thing is I can't understand, after being away for so long, the allure to come back. And he touched on it being that he's fighting for them, and now the platform is for the other people.
This is for a bigger cause. He's not
Right.
coming back to fight just to fight. He's coming back to use this platform, to use his name, his success, his fame, so to speak, to translate that into wells for the people.
Right.
It's not like he's trying to fatten his pockets by doing the fighting. He's going to take that money and it's going to go right out of his pocket right into building wells.
Yeah, he already said in one of the interviews that I read, any bonus money he win, 100% of it goes to people.
And I had no idea he was a recovering drug addict and had struggled early in his life.
Yeah.
To see what he has become and achieved and the type of person he is now, and to know who he was in the past, that should give a lot of hope and inspiration to people who may be struggling right now. I mean, that's really incredible that he's been able to overcome what he has, even the injuries.
The injury he had
his
to
whole
his
story
arm,
is incredible.
The injury that he had to his arm wasn't even during a fight or during a match. It was during training. He was in a position during training where he had his arm kind of wrenched behind his back in an awkward situation, and if he, forfeited, it looked bad. He was trying out for the Olympics or whatever, so he just tried to stay in that situation for as long as he could, and then his arm snapped. And the injury was so bad, like the nerve damage and stuff like that, he equated it to putting your arm out on an anvil and then having Barry Bonds whack you as hard as he could, full swing with a fucking Louisville Slugger.
Incredible.
So he was on serious medication and had all sorts of problems with his arm. So to come back from that, to go through what he's gone through, I can't even begin to comprehend the strength that it takes to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, switching gears, we've just had an incredible 45 minutes, an hour, basically, of MMA. So we'll talk a few minutes about other stuff. Did you hear about what happened in the Jets locker room? Geno Smith, the starting quarterback, over $600, gets punched, gets his jaw broken. He's out 6 to 10 weeks. The starting quarterback. I mean, this isn't some random bum in the locker room. And who the hell let this guy, who's a 6th-round pick last year? I mean, I just don't understand who let this happen. Because if there's a guy like Tom Brady, a guy like Jim Kelly, a guy like Dan Marino, a guy like John Elway, if this happens, you're standing up and you're jumping in there and breaking up the fight. Who the hell let this guy get sucker punched?
Well, first of all, usually the linemen are defending of the quarterback anywhere, right? Usually, where they hang out, whatever, they always protect the quarterback in it and out of the field. But who did it? Who was the guy? It was
I think, an inside linebacker, or I don't even know who it was. A guy named Ike.
Was it over a bet?
IK or something.
No, it wasn't over a bet. Basically, he had a camp. And Geno Smith, the starting quarterback, said, "Oh, yeah, I'll go. You don't have to pay me. I'll go be a guest speaker." And Ike says, "Okay, well, I'm going to send you a ticket." He goes, "Okay, cool." Sends him a ticket for $600. The day of the thing, Geno's like, "Yeah, I can't make it. I had a family emergency." Doesn't give back the ticket. Spends the $600. So Ike's like, "Yeah, where's my money? Where's my money? Every day, where's my money?" So it finally came to a head in the locker room. Geno Smith's like, "Get out of my face." He punches that guy. So, I mean, I don't know what to think of it. We have a fan actually calling in. We have someone named... let me see here. We have Barney from Long Island, a huge New York Jets fan. What did you think about this?
There ain't no Barney. This is Bucky Barnes from Long Island. That fucking guy that guy's a fucking punk sucker punching the quarterback. Try that shit on Ronda Rousey. What would Ronda Rousey do?
See, I'm a Jets fan just like you, brother, man. It means just end the season. What do you think? Is our season over?
Well, hold on. What do you think Ronda Rousey would do if he did this to Ronda Rousey?
Dude, she'd fucking judo toss him across the locker room and break his arm in 10 seconds flat. I also think that the fireman dude maybe paid this guy off to do it, and maybe he's going to come back as a fan.
Fireman Ed paid him off?
Yeah, he paid him off. Wham, bam, armbar, boom, Rousey.
What the
You know what? Bucky Barnes knows one thing and knows one thing only. Ronda Rousey, and she what does she like to say? DND, do nothing, bitch. Geno Smith is a do nothing, bitch. Maybe Geno Smith fucking that's bullshit. He knows do nothing. That's bullshit. That's a bunch of shit. Ronda Rousey. You know what Ronda Rousey does? She's got me aroused. Ronda rouses me.
I'm gonna have to ask her.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
I'm gonna have to ask her next time I see her.
Great.
Is Geno Smith a do nothing bitch? Rhonda, please tell me yes or no.
That was incredible. That was incredible. So Geno Smith apparently is a do nothing bitch.
A do nothing bitch. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
That was amazing, hilarious call. Yeah, so Ronda Rousey apparently, if he tried to sucker punch Ronda Rousey, he would apparently armbar him because she can beat any man. She can beat Floyd Mayweather. Do you think Rousey honestly could take that guy? He's like 6'4", 240.
Obviously, first and foremost, IK would not be able to get down to 135 pounds. Mike Dolce wouldn't be able to do that. The guy's 245. I'm all kidding aside.
Anthony Johnson did it.
Did you hear the thing that they were saying that she came out and said she could beat Floyd Mayweather in a no
in a street
rules?
fight. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's why this guy was, I think, calling in reference to try that on Rousey because of the Mayweather thing.
What do you think of that? Straight, honestly, no bullshit. Both your opinions. Floyd Mayweather against Ronda Rousey in a street fight. Who do you think wins?
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if she, I don't know, shit, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
well-
I don't know, man, because Floyd has the striking stance for a boxer is so susceptible to a takedown. I mean, he has no takedown defense, and she has a million takedowns, and she's the best takedown artist in the world.
I'm gonna say Floyd. I say Floyd takes this, and the reason why she does have takedowns, Aaron, but I think she has to clinch in order
Exactly,
to get the takedown. But Floyd, if he's if there's anything he's an expert in, is a distance, right? The boxing distance, right? He knows how to jab. He knows how to go in and out,
And he can keep his I guess.
and he's quick as hell. I mean, that guy is quick. I mean. I think Floyd can beat her.
The only reason I would take Rousey is because of physics and science. You can't hit someone that's holding you. So if Rousey's holding you, what is he going to do? Rabbit punch her? So I think she can outsmart him by eliminating the distance.
First
but
of
you
all,
may have me convinced on his feet, though.
Floyd Mayweather's defensive
What,
boxing
Floyd can run? You think Floyd can run?
disappears when the clinch gets involved.
Well, there's no clinch in the street, right? There's no ring, right? This is street talking, right?
So he's just going to turn and run? Is
No,
that his offense? His defense?
He can rotate. He can pivot. I mean, they're boxers. He can figure something out. And also, you got to realize it's Floyd. He can actually knock her out too. I mean, he's not.
He
come
hasn't
on.
knocked
Do you
anybody
see
out
the-
in like 25 years.
I understand that, but look what Betts did, and look what Floyd would do. All right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so moving on to Anderson Silva. His hearing is tomorrow. His defense against the steroid allegation is going to be that he was on Viagra. Clinch, we all know that you have a problem with the penis. You've taken Viagra.
Easy.
You've taken Viagra.
Easy. You're talking coming from the guy who gets the Mexican blue bombs imported daily. This guy over here.
So-
Cialis machine.
So, do you think that it's true that his positive test was from dick pills, from dick hard pills?
Dude,
Let's just get
Is that
them
what
to-
they call them?
I
Is that what they
honestly,
call them?
I could see the strategy in like the lawyers meeting where the lawyer's like, I got it. Dick pills. Who would dare use that as a defense? It's so embarrassing. Let's use dick pills.
It's brilliant.
It's a brilliant idea. Let's
normal. Me dick no work. Make my dick hard. It's normal.
I take too much steroids. My dick no work.
In our highlight reel, we have an impression off. Adrian says you do a better impression. Real quick, we're gonna just go impression to impression with Anderson, even though this is not my best impression.
Okay,
at all.
I got you.
Okay,
I'll
go first.
Can we put
I'll
money
go,
on it?
No, but we're just doing it
No?
for fun.
All
I'll
right.
go first. It's just normal. My dick wasn't hard. I had to make my dick hard. It's normal.
I gotta get in Anderson mode here. It's too much. I take the pills. It's normal. I take the pills to have sex with my wife with the 9 kids. My penis is no work because of the Muay Thai.
Okay, fuck you. You won. Okay, you're an asshole. That's not my best impression, but you won that one.
My only question is, why don't they just get those dick pills and then test them to see if that would
That's
cause...
what they're doing. But the cyclist video.
They already did. They already tested
Yeah,
the
but
pills.
didn't you hear what
Yeah.
this guy who claimed Ronda Rousey was on steroids, the cyclist guy?
What?
He said it's the
Oh yeah, it's
easiest thing-
cyclists.
Yeah,
they're
he said it's the- but-
honorable men.
But what he said makes complete sense. He goes, it's the easiest thing to do. You test positive, you just take some of the supplement that you were dirty for, you put it in your protein powder or something, shake it up, and then you say, this is what I've been taking, send it to the lab. It will come up in a test as a tainted supplement. You blame the supplement company.
But it still.
So that's
does-
what he's
it
doing,
still
claiming there's
doesn't-
Viagra,
right,
that there's
but
steroids in it.
See, the thing that it doesn't. This
We
is
don't
this is
know
what
anything about
athletes.
it, though, so
this
we
is
should
what
just probably
athletes in
move on.
football and baseball are just starting to learn now. Like, because they've been using that defense for 10, 15 years in baseball. And what do they say in baseball? They say, it doesn't matter what they say they put in the supplement. You put it in your body. You are responsible for every single thing that you're putting in your body. So if there's even a fucking question about that supplement, you should pay to have it tested and find out for yourself.
Right.
The thing that people are doing with roids is that scares me is the cycling on and off with weight cuts. Because now that they're getting rid of the IV bags, it's going to be harder and harder to do that. And I honestly think we're going to see a lot more brain damage because of it.
It's possible. Well, moving on, Bill Cosby.
Oh shit! Here we
Again.
go. What do you do now?
Again, today, 3 people had a press conference with Gloria Aldred. They came out and said he did it again, or he did it years ago to them. 3 more people. Get this though, one of them was a flight attendant, was a stewardess. You told a story on the show about how your mother was a flight attendant.
Was it my mom?
Well, I don't know, but your mom. You told a story 2 weeks ago how your mother was a flight attendant who Bill Cosby allegedly tried to bang.
No. I didn't
All
say
I'm
he
saying
tried
is
to bang.
allegedly she tried to bang. She tried to
asked
bang your
him
mom.
for an autograph.
2 weeks ago you said that, and now all I know is 2 weeks later in the news, a flight attendant is accusing her. We have a call. I believe we have a call from Nashville, Tennessee.
How dare you?
Bronco
Bill Cosby.
Greygard. Bronco, are you there?
Shit, Bronco Graveyard. What up, everybody? Shit, I'm in a good mood right now. You guys filming me right now? Shit.
Hey, Bronco, did you hear about the flight attendant thing?
Yeah, I know one thing and one thing only. That white fucking boy with you. What's his name? King? Dude, shit, man. Your fucking mom's a liar, man.
Oh.
That's a fucking bullshit, yo.
Coming from a guy named Bronco, that's real tough.
Hey, it's Bronco Graveyard. You gotta get the full name, white boy.
I don't give a fuck what your name is. Your name is at
Your
the bottom
mother,
of my shoe. That's where you belong.
She should have stuck to directing people to the nearest exit in case of emergency, because that's bullshit, man. She's fucking rising up all these lawsuits. It's fucking bullshit. She should have been serving up cocktails, not serving up accusations leading to motherfucking lawsuits.
Wait, my mom she hasn't even filed a lawsuit. You're talking about like Janice Dickinson and all these. Bronco, there's 300 people, and didn't you learn how to bang chicks from watching Dr. Huxtable, for crying out loud?
Yeah, but you know what? That's a bunch of bullshit. That's why I don't fly anymore. But they check my fucking bag for Quaaludes, and Bronco don't like people check for anything that's in his bag. Fucking Dr. Huxtable, the innocent, that fucking guy taught me everything. It's fucking bullshit. Fuck.
Did Dr. Huxtable write your prescription for Quaaludes?
Dude, Dr. Huxtable is the only reason that... Oh, shit. The cops are here. But real quick to wrap it up, that's fucking bullshit. You fucking... know it, and I know it. You come down to my fucking graveyard, and I'll slap you around so you fucking know.
Anytime, Bronco. Anytime, Bronco.
That was Bronco Greygard, dude. I love when that guy calls in. That was freaking awesome. He's blaming your mom for the Bill Cosby situation. That's freaking hilarious.
So
okay,
wrong.
So Clinch, I don't want to put you on the spot, but oh wait, go ahead, Adrian. Adrian, let me ask you a question. Are we able to play the video as a good time, or do you want me to wait till the end of the show?
Well, we've already been in an yeah, we can.
Well, we only have we're gonna wrap up in 5-10 minutes, but is it a good time?
Yeah, I can play.
Will we be able to hear it though, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay, Clinch, make sure you watch this. Make sure you're listening and you watch this video, okay?
Which one do you want?
The
Tucky?
No, the other one.
Okay.
So watch closely, guys. Last week,
I'm very nervous here.
Amanda Nunes versus Sarah McMahon.
Right.
I said Nunes was going to kill her. Sarah's one-sided, that Amanda would kill her. And you're like, no, you're wrong. Both of you said I was wrong. We have a new segment debuting tonight, ladies and gentlemen, called Told You So.
Oh, shoot. I hate when you debut stuff and I don't know about it.
And go ahead, guys, and watch this, and then wait to respond till after the video. But we'll go ahead and try to watch and listen to this. Sarah McMahon against Nunes. I think Nunes will beat her. McMahon is so one-dimensional. She just tries to shoot a takedown. She has weak striking. I don't think she has good finish ability. And I just think that Nunes is a beast. She is a beast.
I see this going the exact opposite.
Yeah. So do I.
I see this going the exact opposite.
Yeah. So do I. So do I. So do I.
I see this going the exact opposite.
Yeah. So do I.
Why?
I see Sarah McMahon
blanketing
going
her.
full potato.
Yeah, I see her blanketing her the whole time.
She's gonna lay on top of her for 3 rounds, get a 5-round decision and a bloody nose.
I think you guys are underestimating her ability.
I told you so. Told you so. Told you so. Told you so.
What do you think of the new segment, guys? What do you think?
Well, I mean, just to reference another of our shows, it's a good thing I didn't betch the house.
Oh, man, sorry about that, guys, but I freaking had to do that. I love it. I even tricked the audio-visual guy, Adrian. I didn't tell him that he was getting set up and he was going to be part of that, too. But I had to do it. Okay, moving on. We have a sponsored segment now. And remember, use responsibly if you have a medical prescription and it's legal in your state. Clinch, can you give us our medical marijuana strain of the week?
Yes, I can.
And also with the beer of the week, if you make sure you're of legal age and drink responsibly, don't drink and drive.
Strain of the week comes from
And hold up a nug to the camera to the close-up one if you can.
comes from a place called Venice Medical Center on Venice Boulevard, and it is called Wi-Fi OG, otherwise known as White Fire, by the OG Rascals Genetics Company. It's actually grown by the Payaso Grow Company. Very strong indica. It will put you on the couch and it will leave you there.
What are the genetics of it?
It's a White Fire OG, so I believe it's a White Widow and a OG cross. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a mixture of that light sativa feel, but with a heavy indica finish. So it tastes amazing.
And who's the grower?
It's Payaso's Grow. It's called Payaso's Grow. They're the OG genetics, OG Rascal Genetics. They're kind of famous in LA area for having some of the best stuff out there.
What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would turn this one up to 11. I would
Hell
turn
yeah.
this one up to 11. This is one of the best nug that I've tried in
And one
in
more
a long
time, what was the name of the strain and where it's from?
It is called Wi-Fi OG, White Fire OG, and it is by the Payaso Grow from the OG Rascal Genetics. I got it at Venice Medical Center on Venice Boulevard. It's one of the really good store. If you ever want wax, they have tons of good stuff there.
All right, Clinch, thank you very much. That was a great review. I really appreciate that. That was a great job.
Thank you.
Very informative and great review. Okay, so moving on, we're about to finish up, but that segment actually sponsored by Venice Medical Center. We have another person that's sponsoring tonight's show. This is going to be crazy. Imagine a classy cannabis event. We have a company called Love and Mary J. It's spelled Love and Mary, Marij. Love and Mary J. The Weed, Wedding, and Classy Cannabis Event Hosting Guide. And this company throws fancy, formal events with medical marijuana themes, like the cooking, like the products. They provide education to people who are new to legal marijuana. They list cannabis-friendly wedding vendors. They do blogging and photos. Just a crazy thing. Classy marijuana events. Love and Mary J. So thank you, Love and Mary J. And thank you so much, Venice Medical Center. All right, well, before we finish the show, I just want to make an announcement that we will now be available coming up online. You can download the audio podcast. We always have had the video replay on YouTube. Just search Aaron Shrew's YouTube channel, and you can find the latest episodes. But we're going to be adding a SoundCloud possibly and iTunes, so make sure to keep a lookout for that. We'll link it to everything. As always, though, you can catch the video replay. We'll post the links all over for you. It's a weekly show bringing you the top guests in the world, entertainment, MMA, politics, comedy. We've got it all. Anything you guys want to add before we go? And no bringing up fight predictions or breaking down any fights. I'm talking last second, like, all right, see you later type shit, Clinch.
No, just you can follow me at theclinchreport.com. I'm on Twitter and Facebook, also The Clinch Report. So come check us out.
Yeah, I'm going to actually add a tab on MMAPrime.tv so that all our previous episodes will be on there. And then all the links. Actually, you can watch the show live there. So we'll have a link on there live for the Ustream.
Awesome. Well, I had so much fun tonight, guys. This was a ton of fun. Between our guest, King Mo, one of the most flavorful personalities, one of the most colorful personalities in the sport. Right. We had on Justin Wren, straight from the Congo, a guy who's sacrificing his life, everything he has, giving it to other people in the jungle, and now coming back to MMA. Two incredible guests. We had hilarious callers talking about Geno Smith, talking about Bill Cosby. I mean, what a great show. I had a ton of fun tonight. If anyone out there would like to sponsor the show, feel free to contact us. You can hit us up on Twitter. You can see the address below on your screen, either at The Clinch Report, at Aaron True, or at MMA Prime. Also, make sure to check out the latest and greatest news at The Clinch Report and at MMA Prime TV. I think that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have more next week. This has been The Brutally Honest Show. For Jonathan King, the Mad Hatter, Adrian Gallegos, this is Aaron True, signing off.